He also mentioned at the same time that there were going to be statues of Kobe Bryant and Muhammad Ali. So it just seems a little hypocritical that you would be doing everything in your power to sort of outlaw the teachings of what, say, a Muhammad Ali stood for. Like, are you going to tell people that he stood against war, that he stood against these very progressive civil rights issues? That doesn't seem to be the part of it. And what I noticed there from that clip is that he had to read letter by letter about what these people, what these great Americans have done in terms of progress for our country, because it's not something he's familiar with and not something that is natural for him. So I consider this to be an insult, a slap in the face, and frankly, all the people that attended this, look, I guess God bless you if you've never been to the White House and maybe you looked at it as some kind of great experience, but everything this president has stood for and done in the last decade or so has been a complete rejection of what Black history is.
Abel, how do you...
So let me get this straight. Donald Trump is a racist, like they say. They claim, right? And Jemele Hill, Miss Jemele Hill, the lady sitting up here with fake blonde braids in her hair, think that it's a slap in the face that the racist president held a Black History Month event with mostly Black folks. But... and she calling it hypocritical. She calling it fakes. She's down talking the people that were in the room, which y'all like to say this, people of color who look like you. That's important to you, I guess. People who look like you need representation and things in this nature. But let me get this straight though. The so-called racist president is holding a Black History event in the White House that supposedly slaves built. I don't know. That's what I'm hearing. They say these pro-blacks. And you pro-blacks hold Black history so near and dear to your heart. And that's not good enough. That's still not good enough. Well, he's hypocritical and all the Black people that support him are, they're just dummies. Maybe they just need to be in the White House. They haven't seen it before, so they can just go in there. So we just going to diminish everything that this president did. And also, let's talk down about the people in the room. Pastor Jamal Bryant.
Square what Jemele is saying there, that this White House, this administration has spent so much time, especially in the last month, denigrating diversity as even a concept. And actually, let me just go ahead and play this because I think it's instructive to hear exactly what they have been saying. Listen.
I think the single dumbest phrase in military history is our diversity is our strength.
My son is in a public school. He takes a class called African American History. If you're running an African American history class, could you perhaps be in violation of this court order, of this executive order?
I'm not quite certain, and I'd like to look into it further and get back to you on that.
You can have DEI in water coolers and universities. I disagree with that. But lives aren't impacted with DEI at universities. It is impacted here. I just want the best and the brightest, keeping Americans safe.
Okay, so you say that, and then you throw a Black History Month event, and people are supposed to then say, well, it all doesn't matter. He really does care about the history of this country, which includes people. It's Black History Month today and this month, but it could be Hispanic History Month, Women's History Month, all these diverse people.
Absolutely.
What are Americans supposed to think?
I mean, look, President Trump is not a traditional politician. I mean, he never has been, he never will be. So today when we saw the celebration in the White House, I thought that was a beautiful ceremony. I thought it was packed house there. I mean, Tiger Woods, I can go on and on.
Look at her face. Anything that anyone says positive about Donald Trump, they don't agree with. Look at this. This is a 2-year-old having a temper tantrum who can't get no animal cookies. Look at this. This is a grown ass woman right here.
All the people that were there. He made it very clear today, Abby. He said, Black Americans are legends. I'm going to put some statues up. Kobe Bryant.
But he's governing in exactly the opposite way.
I think what he's trying to do is, on one end, he knows he's got a huge deficit. He's trying to make cuts and move the business, this big government forward.
I'm not talking about the cuts. I'm talking about the denigration of people based on this idea of DEI. They tried to blame a plane crash on diversity.
Yeah, I don't actually agree with that, to be very sincere with you. I think he looks at DEI more of a, let's put that aside and let's do everything on merit. He's made it very clear. He's talked about merit all along. So I really think, Abby, that what happened today was a beautiful thing.
So I don't. I think he's trying to gaslight us. I mean, come on, man. You have got to be kidding.
So if he didn't have it today, you would be back.
He's trying to gaslight us. First, he said he doesn't want anybody in government to celebrate Black History Month, and then he says, "Okay, I'm going to put on an event about Black History Month, and I'm going to be the speaker." There aren't any Black people, really saying anything about what's happening with him. He tried to use DEI as literally a racial slur against us, as if
that is not true. They need to stop saying this. Diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives overwhelmingly benefit white women, and I'm sure you guys heard that before. And if you just look at the numbers, white women, once these affirmative actions and all these things came about, were considered a minority along with every non-white male. Everybody else was considered a minority. And what's the next biggest population number besides white men? It's white women. Once they were considered a minority, they were able to benefit from these DEI programs. So what he's saying, this victim type attitude and all of this type of stuff, what he's saying is just not true.
If Black people are benefiting from anything in this country and getting anything we're not qualified for and don't have to work twice as hard for. Black people have to live in the real world. When the cops come, we're scared because we might not come out of it alive. We walk into a store, if they let us in, we're followed around. We don't get loans when we have the same credit score as everybody else because we're Black. We have to live in the real world. You can't gaslight us.
I don't know what world these type of people live in. I grew up in the hood. Not the THE. I grew up in the DA hood. Only time we were followed around, but we were teenage knuckleheads coming in there all loud, probably looking like we're up to no good because the way you dress is your uniform. And if you dress like a clown, guess what? They're going to treat you like a clown. If you dress in a suit, police uniform, military uniform, firefighter uniform, what reason do they have to follow you around? What is he talking about? I don't know what world these people come from, but they are paid to continue these talking points to make people feel, so-called Black folks in particular, continue to make them feel like they are less than and white folks are superior to them when no one is superior to me, because I believe in God and Jesus Christ, and my rights were given to me to be free by God. Inalienable rights. And I totally believe in those. And no man is superior to me. I don't care what he does. He can be the richest man on this earth. How are you superior to me when you breathe the same air as I do? You put your pants on just like I do. You have two eyes like me. You can speak like I do. What makes you superior? Because you got more money than me? Well, money actually means nothing in the grand scheme of things. But what happens is when you have money, it changes the way that the people around you act. And so now they put you up on this pedestal. You can be the dumbass with a whole lot of money, but people will cow down to you in the United States and the Western countries anyway. Probably most of the world, I would venture to say. And just because you have more money than they do, you're all of a sudden some type of king, god, or something like that. And even though this country is a capitalist country, and of course, money, you pay for things with money, this, that, and the other. But money doesn't make you who you are. You be the same person. Actually, if you were broker, you'd probably be a better person than you were, as opposed to if you got rich.
We know reality when we see it. This is not real. This is a joke. That's what that is.
I mean,
And personally,
Tiger Woods was speaking at the podium today.
Tiger Woods said he's Kablasian.
Is
right.
that a joke?
I thought he would be there for Combination
Come on, man.
History Month.
So, one of the things also, apparently the Defense Department's getting ready to make some cuts. We talked about it earlier. One of the cuts rumored to be happening is of CQ Brown, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, shockingly, a black man. This is not surprising.
Yeah, Trump fired him. No. Wrong. Let me get that wrong. I'm about to go on their talking points. That man left because he knew Trump would fire him, but Trump didn't fire him. Actually, Trump pushed to and endorsed him when Joe Biden was president and actually got him the position that he got. But since he didn't demonstrate that he was woke as he is once he got actually in the office, Trump was going to appoint somebody else. So they lied to you by omission.
Surprising to me because I know the conversation in MAGA world about that. But the idea that maybe one of the first acts of the new defense secretary would be to ask the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, who is a black man who a Republican senator just today said has done a very good job, and he would be surprised to hear if he were eliminated in some of these cuts. Mm-hmm. Kevin Cramer said a month ago that he knows CQ Brown pretty well. They've had disagreements, but he thinks he's doing a great job. Why would this even be a conversation?
Well, I think Texas has sort of changed his tune on it a bit. They seem to be working together in the early onset. Right after his confirmation, he gave him a vote of approval out loud to the press corps. So we'll see what happens. I'm not going to jump to a conclusion on that. And also, I hope that even if we have political disagreements with somebody in history, a figure of history, we can still recognize their greatness. And I think that's very important. So I was glad to see Donald Trump highlight, yes, great athletes, but yes, Rosa Parks, yes, Frederick Douglass. I think that's great. And we can have the debate over DEI, and I think I can go in a million different directions. I think when it comes to the celebration of Black history, I think the president's signal today was he doesn't want to see it erased from our conversation in our country.
But that's not what his actions say.
Kicking us.
What's crazy is about a lot of the Black history, the way that it is told, a lot of it is just totally false. The Rosa Parks thing was false. The whole situation with Dr. Martin Luther King thing was a lie. And what I mean by lie is just things that they didn't tell you. Al Sharpton, everything about him is a lie because there's a lot of things that they didn't tell you. I didn't say some of the things about King and Sharpton on this channel. So that's going to be in this video. If you are on Facebook, like this video, comment on this video. Go over to on YouTube, go over to Mr. Info 5000. Peace.